All right, friends. It's T-Man, and we're gonna do a reaction video to Blaha's video he posted a bit ago. I don't know. More ridiculousness by Blaha. What do you expect? Anyways, we're gonna react to the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slaves video. Jason Blaha says vegan and carnivore diets are two sides of the same coin. I don't know why he's categorizing a natural diet with something artificial called vegan.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha
Maybe
Strength and
because he's
Fitness.
such a brainwashed peasant slave. What do you expect, man? Doesn't even know the difference between a natural diet and something artificial fake.
And today I'm going to chat with you guys and gals briefly about the two most crazy fad diet cults, and that's going to be vegan and carnivore.
Oh, he is. Is he what? A crazy what? Crazy fad diet? Man, how is a natural diet, your natural diet, meat, a fad diet? How could it be any of that? How could it be crazy or fad? That doesn't make any sense. Meat is our diet. Carnivore is our diet. But plants, vegan is something fake. It's artificial. You got to be really stupid not to understand that. Then if vegan and carnivore, listen to this. If vegan and carnivore are crazy fad diets, then what the fuck do humans eat? Cardboard? Is that normal, Blaha? I know. We're going to eat your artificial fake food.
And in my opinion, these two ideologies are pretty much the same thing.
I love this ideology, man, dude. A natural diet is not ideology. Natural food is not ideology.
Slight difference though between them, in the sense of the mindset they're coming from, in that vegans try to pretend that they have a moral framework.
No. The carnivore, you as a carnivore animal, it's an elimination diet. We've eliminated these plants and these toxic plants and our, man-made processed foods and everything out of our natural diets. We're removing them out of our natural diets. So they have to classify what this is. You're back to normal, homeostasis. It's called carnivore. You going back to homeostasis. But Blaha is always out of homeostasis because he can't stop eating the slave peasant food vegan diet. Get it, dude? And lifting man-made weight repetitively, aging his body, breaking proteins down in his body. You know what I mean? Breaking his body down constantly.
To work from, but in reality, I've noticed a lot of them, they pretend.
Oh, and replacing it with garbage, artificial food.
It's all about animals, but ultimately it's not. It's about them projecting their moral superiority. It's about
Vegans? Yeah, I would agree, because that's fake.
certain type of narcissism, and most of them really and truly, again, it's about showcasing that, and it's again a distortion of reality because they really know when you show them the math, they're not really helping animals. It really is about putting on a show for them. Whereas in carnivores are coming from a mindset of conspiracy theory and questioning authority and questioning any.
No, they're not. They're coming from an elimination diet, eliminating man-made fake food, artificial food from their diet. That's what they're doing.
Sort of.
Look, man, it's kind of obvious. If you don't eat meat, you're going to die. You're going to die. Look at the vegan compilation. You are going to die. So if you eat artificial food and you replace artificial food with meat, you are going to die. That's why that is fake. Meat is real. It's your natural diet. It's natural food, okay? Your natural diet, whatever you want to call it. So let Blaha keep putting this stuff out, and I'm going to keep reacting to it naturally. Get it?
Science, right? That everything is government bad, anything organized bad. So
government is bad. They want you to eat slave food. They want you to eat artificial food and eat very little meat. Why is that? Because why would they want you healthy? They need you to work. You got to be on this energy slave food to keep working, to keep you crazy, keep you working. Like Blaha, to keep him as a lifting gym slave in a garage Look at him, entertaining you, lifting slave in the garage. Look at what it's done to him. All this lifting. His hair is gone. He has a pumpkin head. He has a sarcopenic body. His terrible physique. He's fat. He's obese, and he eats slave food diet. And then he wants to tell you how to live. You gotta lift these weights. You gotta eat this artificial food. And you're crazy if you eat your natural diet carnivore. You, man.
Which comes from a place of extreme skepticism to the point of conspiracy theory. So these are kind of the
I don't know that. He's making that stuff up, but whatever.
prevailing mindsets used to drive them. But the truth is, when you set that aside, they're pretty much the same thing. And what you actually find, and I've seen more and more cases of early on, when the carnivore diet was fairly new, and it is.
Carnivore diet is not new. It's been around for millions of years. Since the beginning of dawn, that's what we've been eating since the beginning. Up until now, we still eat carnivore. We still eat carnivore animals. I mean, we still eat animals, bro. We're carnivores. We're carnivore animals, you fool. We eat meat. It's natural diet, duh. The only difference is that people are still eating processed. They're eating it processed. They're not really eating it natural. Natural means in its natural state without processing it, without cooking it. So, but they're still cooking it. And that's Blaha. He cooks. He's completely artificial because he's processing the meat. Whatever he eats is to cook the shit out of it and eat slave food diet. That's why he looks the way he does. He can't change. Look at the looks maxing community. Bro, I don't need scientific studies to tell me what will be the outcome. I look at other people's experiences to look for the outcome. Get it? You understand me? When you go looks maxing community, what do? Raw meat. They start eating raw animal products, raw eggs, raw meat, raw organs, whatever. Yeah, and even the vegan compilation. Where's the first place they all go? Carnivore. They're all dying. Their hair's falling out, their pee-pee and everything. And where do they go? Carnivore. People even want to know, why are they eating it raw? Because they're dying. You need to eat it now. You're going to die. So there you go. That just says it all. So why in the looks maxing community, when they stop eating this vegan or artificial food or whatever they're eating, these artificial foods, or cooking their meat, they start eating it raw, why does their look change? Because they're now eating their natural diet. And so their body is able to go back to what? Homeostasis. Yes, man. So you are always out of homeostasis if you keep cooking your meat. If you don't eat it raw the way it is meant to be in its natural state, then you will always look like a mummy. When you look in the mirror, it'll look back at you. You'll see the mummy. Get it? That's why looks maxing people look amazing when they start eating their natural food. Yeah. And it's not too late for anybody. You probably could still change it. I don't know how old you are.
We need to keep in mind, it's not something that existed a long time ago. People pretend, oh, we've been doing it for thousands of years. No, we haven't. No, we actually.
Yes, we have. We have been doing it for thousands of years, and we're still doing it.
Haven't. Humans have never been true carnivores.
Yes, they have. We've always been carnivores, true carnivores. Well, here's the thing. If you want to say omnivore, if you want to use that word omnivore, you mean like, can we eat other things like plants? Can we eat some fruit or something? Yeah. You could put anything in your mouth. Is it meant to be there? No. But do we eat it? Yeah. Now, do herbivore animals eat meat? Yes. So that must mean that we're all omnivore. But the problem is this. As a human, we're more carnivore than we are herbivore. And herbivores are more herbivores than they are carnivores. Get it? Duh. But Blaha, he can't think for himself because that high IQ. He's so smart.
Our species has never, there's no reason to believe we were ever true carnivores in the sense of what they do.
We are true carnivores. The only difference is, as a species, we can eat other stuff if need be. If need be, we can still consume other things, but we shouldn't. It will affect us. It does. It affects us.
Primarily meat calories, particularly pasture-raised meat.
Meat calories? We don't eat calories. We eat a high nutrient diet. Cells, Human cells only want nutrients, they don't want calories.
And dairy and stuff, and no plants or fiber. Like this, that's never been humans. But they'll.
No hunter would ever stop in the forest hunting and say, look at these leaves, let's eat, let's consume them. Maybe if you were starving.
So we set that aside as a fairly.
I'm talking about if there was no meat around or anything to eat and you're about to die, you'd probably put anything in your mouth. Even the bark on the tree would taste good. I don't know.
New diet. Right, it's really only been kind of pushed by a couple pseudo experts and quacks online, but many of which have dropped the diet. They can't even do it anymore.
Give me 10 minutes a day for
which have dropped the diet. They can't.
Look, man, I got news for Blaha. Me, I'm a true carnivore because I don't eat any of that stuff. See what I mean? But if in the buffet, if I have a chance because I paid, yeah, because I'm an animal of opportunity. If there's the opportunity and it's there and I paid, then I figured, I can get away with a little bit. But the truth is, the majority of the last 3 years or so, 2.5, 3 years, I've been pure meat. I've been eating pure meat. I stopped eating fruit. I don't eat plants. I don't eat any fake food. I just eat meat and drink water. Yeah, that's about it.
Even do it anymore. They've been pushed online. And so when it was fairly new, what we saw were.
But he says we're not true carnivores. Yeah, humans are true carnivores, the ones that wanna be. Here's the thing. The ones that wanna be a true carnivore are those are the ones that eat pure meat. Now, those that don't want to be pure 100% carnivore, they want to get away with eating these drugs called plants. Okay, they eat them. They smoke them, eat them, drink them, whatever the fuck they're doing there. So, are they true carnivores because they just decided to shove garbage in their mouth? See what I mean? So, what if I'm not eating any of that? Then what does that make me, Blaha? I eat meat. I've been eating meat my entire life growing up. My parents forced me to eat some artificial slave food, but I was forced to do that. Me, if I could, I would just eat meat all the time, man, because that's all I ever loved. I remember they would give me these hot dogs and stuff in the bun. I would eat the hot dog and throw the bun away. I threw that shit away, bro.
A lot of vegans who got health problems with veganism. Well, obviously, anytime you're restricting huge amounts.
Vegans have health problems because they're not eating their natural diet, meat.
Of things in your food, you're going to have health issues eventually. You're running the risk of malnutrition, different amounts, different problems. There are vegans who had health problems who were going over to carnivore in droves.
The question is this: then why do they have health problems, vegans? Why do they? If the diet is so good, like if plants are so good, like Blaha says, you should be eating these plants and all these weird things. If they're so good, then why is it affecting them negatively? That's the test. That is the test. The plants have affected the vegan people negatively. I put it to the test. I ate a lot of fruit and I ate a lot of these plant foods. And guess what? They made me astronomically sick. And guess what I did? I ran back to eating meat. And then I've never turned back. I've been eating meat ever since. You understand the difference? Because that's the test. Now, here's the other test. I've been consuming a lot of, you guys know me, I consume a lot of animal products. Astronomically high protein diet where the government says you're going to die. Red meat's going to give me heart attacks. But you guys know me. You guys know me from my old channel and this channel. I've been eating at the buffet for years. And everybody said all that red meat is going to give you heart disease. Remember, go check your pulse and everything. I went to go check it. Remember, I showed you what my heart rate and everything was and everything. It's perfect, bro. It's perfect. You understand me? It's perfect. It never changes. It's absolutely perfect. Want to know why? Because meat doesn't cause those things. It's fake. It's fake. That's the test. I've been consuming so much. If anything, I've gotten better. I've gotten better, bro. Get it? I'm getting better all the time. So I consume higher amounts. Want to know why I consume higher amounts? To make me better. Get it? But when I consumed high amounts of plants, they made me worse. They made me worser, and worser. But when I started consuming more animal products, especially raw, and now that I'm consuming it raw, it's making me even better. Get it? Through the roof. So there's the test.
Okay. Okay? Now we're finally reaching a point, and I've seen it in my own comments. Someone chimed in my comments the other day saying, yeah, they got really hurt with gut biome issues doing carnivore, and they kept...
Absolutely not. I have zero microbiome issues. Want to know why? Because I eat the products raw. So I drink raw goat's milk, which has the bacteria in there, fermented. The bacteria is there. I get the bacteria. Now, if you cook your meats, you're killing the bacterias. Those bacteria, and then your own bacteria will eat you. That's why you look like a mummy. That's also contributing to what? Accelerated aging. So the more you, when you cook the shit out of your food and kill the bacterias, guess what? You don't have these bacterias to keep you alive, your microbiome and everything, because you've destroyed it. It is processed. You are not a true carnivore if you're not eating raw meat. You understand me? Here's the thing. Nobody can be a true carnivore if they're cooking their meat products. So if you're cooking it, you're not really true. And so you're killing the bacteria, and then the bacteria in your body is feeding on you, and you'll look like the mommy. Get it, broski? Yeah. Think about that. Ponder that thought, people. That's why you need to eat raw stuff, because the bacteria, you need it. So that's why Blah is going to say, see, he keeps confusing these so-called carnivore with processed. He's like, processed meat, cooking it. No, that's wrong. That's why, regardless whether you eat plants, that's not going to contribute to your microbiome. It's because you're not getting the bacteria that you need from your raw milk, raw animal products.
Up longer. They realize they're having problems. Kept doing it too long now. They're really struggling to...
I'm not struggling. He says, I'm continuing on it too long and I'm struggling. I'm not struggling. How come I'm not struggling, Blaha? You see my videos. I only eat meat. I eat meat. Lots of meat. I eat lots of animal products all day. Raw eggs, the shit out of high heaven. If you see how many cartons I have of eggs, you'll be surprised how much raw eggs I eat in a day. Sometimes six to eight in one day sometimes. Depends. I eat a lot of protein, bro. A lot.
Readapt because of the gut health issues it created, and it will create gut health issues. So that's setting aside.
So yeah, you don't want to know what created the gut issues? It was the plants that created it. But guess what fixed it? The meat fixed the gut issues, bro. Get it? It cleaned up everything. Great digestion, not shitting every day like a cow shitting. That's it. Yeah, perfectly normal. No bloating, no inflammation, no farting, nothing. Blah, farts all day. He looks like a cow. He looks domesticated animal, farting, shitting all day. Talking about stupid slave food mentality coming out of his slave peasant mentality brain. That's IQ for you.
The long term after.
That's why this guy says he has a high IQ. You call that high IQ?
Cirrhosis. The gut biome problems are very real from the lack of fiber. So
nope, I don't know anybody on any of these carnivore channels that have problems with their microbiome. Not even the ones that are even processing it, cooking it. I don't have any problems, and I eat a lot of raw stuff, so I don't have any problems. I know what he's talking about.
What we're finding more of now, and I'm seeing it on my own social media, I've had some people have seen it in some of the groups, at least one of them came over, followed my Facebook, who is a vegan, who is a former carnivore. Why? Because people are getting health problems now.
Who's a vegan and a former carnivore? I don't know anybody that would go from vegan to carnivore to vegan. That's just ridiculous. Look at this goofy body he has, man. This guy's a goof. Jesus, man. I don't know what this is, but whatever it is, it's not good, broski. Blah is just ridiculous.
From following the extreme carnivore, so what do a lot of them do? They go over to vegan. And why? Because it's the same sort of...
They don't go over to vegan at all. It's all the vegans that go over to carnivore because they're dying.
People, it's in a very extremist mindset in people that says, I have to have a special exclusionary, I have to be part of a special group or a special extreme diet. I can't just be a healthy, fit person. I have to be part of a very small select group. And it's something that they need for their ego, for their mindset.
The only difference between all the other people, when you start eating these foods and you don't burn them as energy, that's why Blaha has to lift all day in the gym. He's like, you know what? Man, I wanna work so hard. I wanna make life so hard for myself. So I'll eat slave food diet, and then I have to lift in the gym daily because I have to burn this stuff. Otherwise, it'll destroy me completely. Look how destroyed I'd already look from eating the slave food diet. Huh? Bald head, this, that, ugly physique, blah blah blah. But guess what? Now that I keep lifting these weights and running with a sled up and down the street running, I'm burning these foods as energy. My body's gonna burn them, so I should be okay. But guess what? Your cells are still absorbing these garbage things that you're taking in. And so look at that body. Look at the way the physique looks. Droopy, looks terrible, looks awful. The whole point is to become attractive. That just makes you more unattractive, what he's doing and what he's talking about. He wants you to be unattractive. He wants you not to eat any of that, you to be poisoned, you to be a gym lifting slave, you. So he could destroy you because he's destroyed himself.
The people do this because they need to feel special, and then they need to be extreme with it.
Exactly. He's doing this because he needs to feel special. And he needs to destroy you because he's destroying himself in the same process. So he wants you to be destroyed. You need to lift weights. You need to lift daily. You need to push a sled. You need to run. You need to eat my peasant slave food stamp diet. You need to do all these things. You understand me, man?
Doing, and they don't. I think most of them.
My advice is do what is best for you. Me, I do what is best for me. I don't do what is best for other people. You understand me?
Deep down, truly don't believe that it's actually going to get them in the best shape, because we don't see that. We all know what gets people the most jacked and lean and strong, and that's, again, bro types, diets.
Yeah, I know what gets people back to homeostasis. It's called raw animal food. That's what. That's what it does.
Heavy on carbohydrate, plenty of fruits and vegetables. Then
Absolutely not. That's gonna give you artificial muscle growth. That's gonna destroy your physique. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna look like Blaha. Want to look like Blaha? Eat slave food diet.
animal source protein, right?
See, if you want to look like Blaha, right? Eat the slave food diet. Now, if you want to look like me, see, here's me.
My secret is I do what works for me. I don't bother a soul. I don't compare, I don't copy, I don't watch, and I could care less about one's perception of me. I genuinely support others until I conclude you're not.
See, if you want to look like me, then eat meat. Eat a lot of meat. But now, if you want to look like that, see that look at that physique. You want to look like that? Well, just eat what Blaha's doing and lift like Blaha. Lift like Blaha and eat like Blaha, and you'll get there. Yeah. And remember, I'm 10 years older than Blaha. So take a good look at me in that video. That's me, 10 years. Look at Blaha. Look at me. Look at Blaha. Yeah.
Right? This is
Like it said in the video, I do what is best for me in that video.
time proven over and 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 over. The overwhelming majority of people with phenomenal physiques, phenomenal athletic performance.
That's me. I've always had phenomenal physique, phenomenal athletic performance because the majority of all my life I've been eating meat. I never wanted to eat plants. The moment I got out of my home, some of it I still had ingrained in my head to eat cereal, which was a bad thing because that's laziness. Eating cereal with milk was a bad thing I did. But the majority of my diet, it was always meat. You see me in my videos eating a whole chicken or something. I ate meat all the time because that's why I haven't taken on so much damage. Can you imagine? I'm pushing 60 and I'm looking like that. What am I going to look like in the next 10 years? Exactly the same, because I haven't looked much different than I was 40. In that video, when you see me posing, I don't look much different than when I was 40. Or even when I was younger. Now, I was bigger when I was younger. But I don't look that much different from 30 to 40 to 60 right now. So I don't look that much different. 30, 40, 50 to 60, bro. I'm pushing 60. So I don't look that much different. You understand me? But look at Blaha. He's 48. What do you think he's going to look like at 58? Here's the question. What do you think I'm going to look like when I reach 70? What do you think I'm going to look like? See what I mean? And now that I eat only raw, I eat a lot of raw animal products. I eat exclusively animal products, okay? I don't eat any plants. What do you think I'm going to look like?
This is how they eat. It is the most successful. Everyone knows, and everybody knows this.
I've got all my hair. I've got nice hair. Yeah, it isn't a genetic thing why you don't have hair. It's an environmental thing. You're disintegrating. You understand me? Faster than you're aging. You're deteriorating.
Right.
And him, a high estrogen, eating all these plants. High estrogen. That's why he has boobs.
Everybody knows this. This is not even debated. That's why it's rather funny that these groups even exist. So they really are fringe groups that grow and grow through their own movements on the internet.
Okay, whatever.
In fact, keto people struggle to get jacked. Vegans struggle to get jacked. All these people historically struggle to get jacked. These are sometimes successful weight loss methods. Ironically, though,
Why do they struggle to get jacked? Because protein synthesis, animal protein, needs to exceed what? That rate of breakdown.
a lot of the people with the keto end don't even ever get remotely lean. And I don't even mean people say, well, you're not super lean. No, I didn't say super lean. I've seen plenty of keto people for decades who struggle to get under 20% body fat. Okay.
Well, if protein doesn't outpace protein breakdown, good luck, dude. Good luck.
Which makes sense. They're pouring down massive amounts of saturated fat. Okay, they're pouring it down.
I don't know about that.
So the problems that we run into is that ultimately neither diet is going to be successful for people in the pursuit of body composition. Let's set aside the various health claims, but what I will say is, no, it's going to be difficult to have ideal health if you have deficiencies as a vegan. We all know this, common sense. You're not getting enough animal protein. You have to supplement tons of things, and if you don't, you will have health problems. And the problem with a lot of the vegans is I've met vegans and there's stuff like, well, I don't really need that. If you really go look, we got our B12 here or there, so I don't need to supplement it. Like they really and truly buy into the fact that it's healthy, not just the ethical side, which again, this is a problem. You have to take great care to not have deficiencies on that type of diet. You know, you're going to get potentially.
Listen to what he said. Deficiencies on that diet. And which diet makes you not deficient in any nutrients? Carnivore diet. So he just told you. Those other diets, keto, whatever, I don't know, whatever these diets he's talking about, vegan or whatever, it's deficient. But meat is not deficient in any nutrients.
Omega-3 deficiencies, definitely B12, definitely iron, things like that.
There's no omega-3 deficiency in meat. Meat's got omega-3, especially if it's grass-fed completely. If it's not, it'll be a slightly lower. You understand the difference?
It requires supplementation, right? So if supplementation didn't exist, vegans could never be healthy, okay? It would be...
There you go. Supplementation doesn't exist. Vegans can't be healthy, but supplementations, they don't work, and they're not healthy. That's why they drop off.
Impossible without the existence of supplements, and at least supplements added to foods, to be healthy on a vegan diet. Like, this is understood. Hopefully it's understood. It's problematic. Same thing with the carnivore end. You're never going to be truly healthy.
What do you mean you're truly not going to be healthy on carnivore? It's not deficient in any nutrients. There's zero deficiency. What the fuck is he talking about?
That elevated LDL is the big one.
What? First he says it's deficient, now he says elevated LDL. He's just making this stuff up. He a doctor? He giving medical advice or what?
They are in denial of it, but we see it even in like that recent keto study. They also, the fact that the no fiber, the cancer risks from the low vegetables, low fiber, are going to go through.
What cancer risk from the low vegetables? This is propaganda. He's like the government. Eat that stuff. It'll give you cancer. Those vegetables and things will give you cancer, and they're sprayed with all kinds of chemicals, give you more cancer.
The roof. Gut biome issues are going to be a problem, but they pull the line of, well, it'll be okay. I only need the healthy gut biome if I want to eat fiber or carbs again, and I'm never going to do that.
I don't know any person that just eats meat that has an unhealthy microbiome. You have an unhealthy gut and microbiome because you're eating plants. You can't digest plants.
Delusional mindset. Sure, you're messing up your ability to eat a lot of it in the future because your gut could have permanent issues.
Oh yeah, sure it will.
So you're basically
Sure, yeah, a lot of issues, yeah.
making a lifetime commitment.
Oh yeah, lifetime commitment, yeah,
Potential.
lifetime commitment to poison myself. Listen to Blaha.
And
Like
without-
I'm gonna take advice from this troll. Look at the way he looks, like a troll that lives in a cave. Yeah, okay.
that's what they're claiming they're going to do, but they're
Sure, yeah. You want to take advice from this guy? You people are to be insane in your brain to take advice from this bald-headed freak. He's a freak, man.
not.
This freak show in his garage. This is a freak show. And any natural person would tell you that in the past. They would say this guy is a freak and it's a freak show. He belongs in a freak show circus, in a circus freak show. That's what they did. They used to put these unnatural people, they were doing these unnatural things in freak shows. That's why they call them freak shows. Get it?
Because once you start having those other problems, you're going to have to quit doing it. But ultimately, yeah, they're both crazy cults, and they
Look at this freak lifting the weight.
can't, they're always
Can
going
you imagine him walking around like 100 years ago amongst normal people when there were less populations, but normal people walking around, you know, like the planet? Or even in the 17th century, him walking around with this look and this bald head and everything. Can you imagine what they were thinking? The nobles, they look at this guy and they think who is this person? A troll.
to be difficult to build muscle or make gains on.
They say he's a freak.
The vegan one, obviously, due to the protein, your whole life has to revolve around protein to gain muscle as a vegan.
Well, that's true. Your whole life does need to revolve around protein to build muscle. Animal protein.
It has to. The only vegans who successfully do it, they have to obsess over protein intake. It's not, but hey, I can just eat a healthy plant-based diet. No, they have to obsess over protein or muscle. It really is a problem.
Sure, yeah.
They're going to have to really focus on getting enough in because of the lower bioavailability and the lower protein content. So they're either living on shakes or they're obsessing over protein in their food. They're going hard in the soy. They have to. The carnivore is the issue they're going to run into, the lack of carbohydrate. It's going to be hard to get optimal training in. You're going to struggle with glycogen stores. You're going to struggle with insulin sensitivity because of the saturated fat. They're always going to
What do you need these glycogen stores for? So you could be a slave in the factory?
struggle to have good and proper insulin responses. They're going to tend to overproduce insulin. And we see that in the deep keto diets with high saturated fat. They all have, they're insulin resistant as a general rule in their blood work. Elevated fasting glucose, elevated fasting insulin. We see this every time. You're seeing the same thing in carnivore. All right, the insulin resistance they're developing in their muscle tissue, they're going to have larger insulin responses in people on carbs sometimes, just from
really?
the protein. But they're going to be insulin resistant from the huge amounts of saturated fat.
Oh, are they?
So we tend to see there things like fat.
I'm not insulin resistant, not getting fat, not gaining weight, eating tons and tons of animal products, not getting anything. If anything, I'm getting younger is what I noticed. I'm not gaining weight, not gaining anything from eating that amount of protein. I'm not working out either. So what am I gaining? Nothing, just getting younger. Just look better, regenerating, my whole body looking younger. Now, I can add to that regeneration by going to the gym periodically to cause a trigger to get the satellite cells and things and, some micro tears in the muscle to further this regeneration for sure. That would just speed it up. So, yeah, I will go there and do that sometimes when I have the chance. But eating a high animal natural diet it just makes me younger. I don't know. I'm getting younger.
Fasting glucose and stuff tends to be high. They're all pre-diabetic.
I notice my jumping ability is so much better now, so much more strength. I feel so strong. My bones feel strong. I don't feel frail for my age. If I'm gonna fall down, I might break my hip or something. A lot of people have that. Already in their 50s, 60s, they fall down, break a hip, and they're gone. I don't feel any of that. So I don't know what Blah is talking about.
Very, very quickly. Well, that's not an ideal environment to gain muscle. So you're going to find a lot of the carnivores struggle with muscle. They struggle with gaining muscle. They struggle with gaining size. Unless
Yeah. Look, this is my suggestion. If you can afford to eat, if you've got money and you can afford to eat as much as you can, eat as much animal product and as raw as you can. That is my advice to all of you.
on lots of drugs, or they're hammering down pounds and pounds and pounds of meat.
I'm not telling you you should do that. I'm telling you it's just my advice, okay? And stop watching and listening to blah.
Okay, and that's the ones we
Let him make the videos and watch my videos, because I'll do a reaction to it.
see get away. It's not the ones eating the bacon and the butter who build any real muscle. It's the ones
The bacon and the butter? Bacon and butter it aids in building muscle, definitely, yes.
4 pounds of meat a day and using steroids.
Well, 4 pounds. I don't know anybody taking steroids eating 4 pounds of meat, but they're eating a lot of slave food and taking steroids. Now, I eat over 4 pounds of meat a day, but I'm not taking steroids. That's the difference, because I'm in anabolic growth state, because food puts you in an anabolic growth state.
Okay,
Yep, that's
they
right.
can get away with it. The other guys, not so much.
All right, whatever.
But again, they're both crazy cults. All right, guys, with that,
I love this. They're both crazy cults. Blaha's crazy. Look at him.
that's really all I have to say on that.
Crazy person is calling you crazy, is telling you you're crazy. Unbelievable. Look at this crazy person lifting man-made weight in a garage 24/7 and eating a slave food diet so he could destroy his look and tell you that this is the way you should look and this is the way you should perform. See you in the next one, friends. Ciao.